The old railway bridge in Pine Hollow hadn't seen a train in nearly 40 years. The tracks were ripped out, the ties rotted, and the river below eroded the stone supports year after year. Locals avoided it, mostly because it was dangerous, but also because of the stories. They said a single lantern light sometimes appeared there late at night, not swinging, not moving, just watching. Most dismissed it as nonsense, the kind of thing teenagers say to scare each other. But when Evan Hayes moved back to his hometown after his father's death, he kept hearing about it again and again, always spoken quietly, always with the same warning: don't stop if you see the light. Evan didn't believe in ghost stories. He believed in grief, in time, in loneliness. So the first time he saw a faint glow above the bridge while driving home, he slowed down. It was just past 11 p.m. The road was empty, fog settling low and thick. The bridge sat about 50 feet off the main road, tucked behind a rusted gate and a barely there gravel path. The light flickered, pale and steady, like an old oil lantern. Evan stopped his truck. He didn't know why. Something about the stillness of it, how it hung in the dark, perfectly motionless, felt wrong. He stepped out, leaving the engine running. The air smelled of wet wood and something metallic. He walked toward the bridge slowly, gravel crunching underfoot. The lantern didn't swing or shake. It just glowed, suspended in the center of the bridge, above the place where the tracks used to be. Evan called out, "Hello?" No answer. The light pulsed once, soft, deliberate, almost like acknowledgement. Evan should have walked away. But grief does strange things to judgment. His father had worked the rail lines, repairing tracks, clearing debris, always telling Evan the railway had its own kind of memory. Standing there in the cold dark, Evan thought of him. Thought of questions he never asked, apologies he never made. So he stepped onto the bridge. The wood creaked under his boots. The lantern stayed ahead of him, always just out of reach, like it was leading him. The fog thickened. The river below sounded distant, like it was underwater. Then he noticed something. There was no pole, no chain, no hook holding the light. It hovered, floating. Evan froze. The light dimmed, then brightened sharply, like a breath. And then he heard footsteps behind him. Slow, heavy, wet. Evan turned. No one. Just fog. But the footsteps continued, moving around him, circling him on wood that shouldn't have held weight. The lantern flickered violently. A voice came, low and strained, like forcing sound through a closed throat. Don't stop. Evan stumbled backward. The light rushed toward him, blinding for a second, and he found himself pitched forward, face scraping old splintered boards. When his vision adjusted, he wasn't on the bridge anymore. He was kneeling in the middle of the road, his truck engine still running, his hands bleeding. The bridge was dark. The lantern was gone. Evan drove home shaking. He told himself he slipped, imagined it, stress, exhaustion. But that night, he woke to a flicker of light outside his bedroom window, high up, like someone was holding a lantern and watching from the trees. Over the next week, Evan saw the light everywhere. On the roadside, in the reflection of storefront glass, in the hallway of his father's house where no light should reach. Every time, it disappeared when approached. He finally asked an old neighbor, Mrs. Vickers, the kind of person who remembered every death this town ever had. Her face went still when he described the lantern. That bridge collapsed in '82, she said. Maintenance crew was repairing supports. The foreman fell through. They couldn't pull him out. lantern was the last thing anyone saw of him before the river took him. Evan felt sick. "What does he want?" he asked. Mrs. Vickers looked at him like the answer should have been obvious. "Someone to take his place." 2 nights later, Evan's truck was found abandoned near the old railway bridge. Driver's door open, headlights on. No sign of struggle, no sign of Evan. But people still report the light there, steady, pale, waiting, and now sometimes a second light beside it. The town still warns travelers the same thing. If you see the lantern on Old Railway Bridge Road, don't stop, because once you follow it once, it will follow you back.